At first glance, a Kennedy half dollar looks like ordinary pocket change, hefty, a little old-fashioned, and easy to overlook. But beneath that unassuming surface lies one of the most volatile treasure hunts in American coin collecting. While millions of these coins are still spent daily on coffee, gas, or tolls, a tiny fraction are secretly worth a fortune. Collectors are hunting them obsessively right now, and you might be holding one without even knowing it. This is the story of 3 specific Kennedy half-dollar coins that look ordinary, feel ordinary, but have quietly become life-changing assets. Check your change carefully before it's too late. The emotional genesis of a legend. The story begins not with a mint, but with a tragedy. After President John F. Kennedy's assassination in 1963, the nation was shattered. The United States Mint faced unprecedented pressure to release a memorial coin that could channel the country's grief. By 1964, Kennedy half dollars were rushed into production. Americans hoarded them as fast as banks could distribute them. Collectors quietly pulled the finest examples before the public even understood what was happening. That panic, that raw emotion, created one of the most charged coins in U.S. history. And today, that same emotional energy fuels a market that has grown fierce and silent. The first trap, the 1964D Kennedy half dollar, looks ordinary. That's the danger. The 1964D Kennedy half dollar appears unremarkable. On the averse, you see Gilroy Roberts' powerful left-facing portrait of Kennedy, with liberty arching above and in God we trust split beneath his neck. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, features the presidential Sela fierce eagle clutching arrows in an olive branch, surrounded by a burst of stars. Patriotic, dignified, and easy to dismiss. But here's what changes everything. 90% silver composition. This was the only regular issue. Kennedy half dollar struck entirely in 90% silver for circulation, and that single fact has made it legendary. The Denver Mint's stress and your advantage. The Denver Mint worked under crushing demand. Dies wore down quickly. Striking pressure fluctuated wildly. As a result, many 1964D coins left the mint weakly struck or damaged, but the ones that survived sharply detailed. Untouched, with original surfaces, are now gold. Weight, approximately 12.5 grams. Diameter, 10.6 halmi. Feel thick, solid, heavy in the hand. Modern coins cannot compare. The number one mistake that destroys value. Most people panic when they see dark toning, old dirt, or antique silver surfaces. They scrub the coin thinking they're improving it. Never do this. That mistake can erase thousands of dollars in an instant. Collectors pay a premium for natural dark silver. Texture, because it proves authenticity in untouched age. A cleaned coin is a dead coin. The shocking auction reality. A genuine 1964D Kennedy half dollar in rare, untouched fine condition can command around the Sharwan maybe at auction without any dramatic mint errors. That's a coin many people still throw into junk drawers or spend at face value. Auction rooms grow tense when one appears with original skin and sharp details. Serious buyers know supply is shrinking. Many refuse to sell once they own one, and that relentless demand pushes prices higher every year. Before you spend another 1964 half dollar, stop. Inspect the date, the mint mark, and the surfaces. One overlooked detail could be a silent fortune, but the next coin is even more terrifying, because collectors believe some examples should never have escaped into circulation at all. The second trap, the 1972 no mint Mark Kennedy half dollar. It's ugly, dark, and dangerous. Most people would toss this coin into a gas station tray without a second glance. It's not shiny. It's often dark, spotted, worn, and strange looking. And that's exactly why it has become one of the quietest hidden treasures in modern American coin collecting. What scares casual owners is what excites serious buyers. Circulation, wear, dark surfaces, and unusual aging patterns. These overlooked details are exactly what collectors study. The economic storm of 1972. By 1972, America was reeling from inflation fears, economic pressure, and massive social change after the turbulent late. In the 1960s, the U.S. Mint was pumping out coinage as fast as possible. Kennedy half dollars still carried emotional weight, but fewer people were using them in daily commerce. Many circulated heavily in silence before disappearing into storage. That strange survival pattern is why this specific coin is now so hard to find in desirable untouched condition. The obsession with a missing letter. The no mint mark version was struck in Philadelphia. Collectors obsess over that absence, no D, no S, just empty space beneath Kennedy's neck. That missing letter creates psychological obsession because it instantly separates this coin from Denver and San Francisco issues. The design is familiar. Kennedy's sharp portrait, Liberty, in God we trust, and the reverse eagle with arrows and olive branches. But on circulated 1972 examples, those details often soften into a dark antique appearance that collectors strangely love. The composition trap. Unlike the 1964 silver coin, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar uses a copper nickel clad composition over a pure copper core. But because these coins circulated hard through casinos, banks, and vending systems for decades, many developed unusual black spotting, oxidation, and natural darkness. Weight, approximately 11.34 grams. Diameter, 10 halmi. Feel heavy, solid, powerful in the hand. Most people think these dark surfaces are damage. Experienced collectors know that untouched aging proves originality. That black texture becomes part of the coin's identity. Cleaned examples lose their emotional power instantly. Never, ever clean this coin. One careless wipe can permanently destroy decades of natural surface history and erase serious collector demand overnight. Authentic black spotting and untouched surfaces are becoming harder to find every year. Many were cleaned, polished, or spent without a second thought. The astonishing market reality. Today, high-end examples of the 1972 no mint mark Kennedy half-dollar in original circulated condition have reached auction levels, approaching 10,000 yen. That is silent fortune hiding inside a coin most Americans still ignore. Professional grading is critical because tiny differences in surface originality, strike quality, and toning completely change how collectors react. Smart collectors check the fields first, then the rim texture, then the darkness around Kennedy's portrait. Patience matters. One overlooked coin can become a life-changing opportunity years later, but the next Kennedy half-dollar is even more unbelievable because families have unknowingly passed down fortunes for generations without ever realizing it. The third trap, the 1989 D Kennedy half-dollar, the quiet vanishing act. There is something terrifying about the 1989D Kennedy half-dollar. It doesn't look rare. It doesn't scream treasure. And that's exactly why people lose them every single day without hesitation. They sit inside old bank rolls, casino trays, forgotten drawers, and inherited coin jars while collectors hunt them with obsession. The late 1980s shift. The late 1980s were a strange period in America. The economy was shifting. Credit culture was exploding. Physical cash usage began to change in ways that affected coin circulation forever. Most people simply stopped using them. Banks ordered fewer. Stores rarely handed them out. Millions quietly disappeared into private collections. That reduced circulation created an unexpected survival crisis. Coins that should have remained common slowly vanished from public hands, especially examples preserved naturally in fine condition without heavy abuse or cleaning. The tiny letter that matters. The Denver Mint struck this version with a small D mint mark beneath Kennedy's neck. Collectors immediately inspect that tiny letter because weak strikes, worn dies, and circulation damage often blur the details. The obverse still carries Kennedy's commanding portrait. The reverse remains one of the most recognizable in American coinage, an aggressive heraldic eagle with arrows and olive branches on untouched 1989D coins. Those details can develop a cold gray texture and deep field contrast that collectors absolutely love. No silver, no problem. Unlike the early silver issues, the Icho Bacho D uses a copper nickel clad composition bonded over a pure copper center. Yet even without silver, collectors chase these coins because survival quality matters more than metal alone. Weight, approximately 11.34 grams. Diameter, 10 halmi. thickness, ardan iwulhalmi, feel dense, wide, unusually powerful compared to modern change. Most people ignore that feeling. Collectors don't. The weak strike problem. Many ijo bajo d Kennedy half dollars entered circulation with weak strikes due to production fatigue and heavy die usage. Fine condition survivors with balanced details, smooth rims, and original surfaces became far harder to locate than anyone expected. Original toning, dark edge color, faint circulation marks, these create authenticity. Once that surface is damaged, emotional collector demand drops instantly. The quiet market explosion. Serious collectors now compete aggressively for naturally preserved examples because too many were spent, scratched, polished, or ignored over the decades. Auction rooms grow tense when a strong ijo bajo d appears with original skin and attractive wear. Some buyers hold them for years instead of selling because supply keeps shrinking while demand rises steadily. Today, exceptional fine condition. Examples have reached auction levels around $50,000 without requiring dramatic mint. Errors or rare varieties. Professional grading is critical. Tiny differences in strike sharpness, field quality, and surface originality can completely alter market value. Smart collectors examine Kennedy's hair detail first, then the eagle feathers, then the mint mark placement and edge quality. Most people never notice those details. That's why fortunes keep slipping through everyday hands unnoticed. Final warning, your change could be a fortune. Hidden wealth does not always shine brightly. Sometimes it looks old, worn, dark, and ordinary until collectors start fighting over it. The ijo lucid d 90% silver can reach, in untouched fine condition. The 1972, no mint mark can approach. Chiwen was authentic, dark circulated surfaces. The ijo bajo d can command $50,000 or more in original, naturally preserved condition. Before you spend another Kennedy half dollar, slow down. Inspect every date, every mint mark, every surface. Do not clean anything. Do not assume it's just pocket change. Patience creates wealth in this game, and one overlooked detail could mean you are holding a silent fortune right now.